really honestly tired of some of these chicks in my comment section talking about, yeah, you're a Pickmeisha. You're a Pickmeisha. And it's like, bitch, are you even in a healthy relationship right now? Do you even have a man? The man that you say you want a man that got six, seven figures. Is that man even looking at you? Is he even looking your way? So let's talk about this pick me word. Because I've been wanting to address this for quite a while now. I just didn't really get the opportunity to because there were so many other things that I wanted to talk about. But let's just talk about this pick me thing because I feel like this word is being used and thrown around very loosely and almost to the point where it just doesn't really seem to have very much meaning at all anymore. So there's a lot of ways that I could go about this, but the reason why I'm like, you know what, let me just go ahead and address this is because some women will call me a pick me because I am not bashing men. Okay. So any woman who does not bash and thrash men in their video, they will label you as a pick me. I'm telling you, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. From my perspective, this is what's my understanding of what a pick me is that a woman who's looking for validation from men, even to the point where it makes her look like a complete fool. So it doesn't matter, like, she doesn't care about how, like, her actual, what she actually looks like when she's saying certain things. The only thing that matters is that men will validate her. Okay, so and this is an example. So there is a video of a girl who just went viral for, she had recorded, she was in Planet Fitness and she had recorded a woman who had a BBL and she was talking about the BBL and how horrible it looked and saying that, oh, my body is natural and then she made this other video talking about I have natural autonomy and this is what light-skinned mixed women look like and you know I have all these natural features and I'm natural this and I'm blah blah blah.
This is my full face autonomy. No filter, no makeup, no alterations. Natural face in the morning. Natural eye color. Natural lips. Teeth.
Blah blah blah, whatever, who cares? So that and the videos went viral, like millions of views type viral. And people were stitching it and just calling her a pick me. And that's an example of a pick me because that's a woman who is using another woman as a way to put down other women to in order to lift herself up and put herself at a higher ranking or higher level by using another woman or what other women do as an example of why she is better than them. That's a pick me. Another example of a pick me would be I saw a video of a Asian girl who was doing like this live interview, like this guy was doing like one of those street interviews, and he was asking her about her man, what would she do if her man cheated on her? And her response was that, she wouldn't leave her man if her man cheated on her because, man, they just can't help it. And they're just built like that. And then, but she would never, like, I would never leave my man. I would never leave my man if he cheated on me, but I would never cheat on my man because, it's wrong when women do it because, when we cheat, it's always our emotions that are involved. So it's okay for a man to cheat, but it's not okay for me to cheat. That to me is a pick me. It's coming off like you just want men to be like, oh man, that's the perfect woman right there. Oh yeah, we love her. All women should think like her. All women look at her. Look. That's a pick me. That's a pick me because you know damn well that what you're saying you sound like a fool. You look stupid, you sound stupid, but yet you don't care because you know that men are gonna be like, oh yeah, rah 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 rah. Yeah. So that's a pick me. Okay. Let me tell you what a pick me is not. A pick me is not a feminine woman who wants to cater to her man. A pick me is not a woman who desires to understand how men think and who wants to attract a good man because she doesn't mind doing things that pleases him or that makes him happy, that do things or say things that make men happy. A pick me is not a woman who is a fair thinker who wants to hear what men have to say. That is not a pick me. If you think that that's what a pick me is, any of the stuff that I just listed, if you think that that's what a pick me is, you are no different than the men that label married men as simps just because they want to take care of their wife and their family. If you think that that's a pick me, you're no different than those guys. You're the same. Your mind is working the exact same way. Your mind is working in a toxic format, okay? Because the guys that label married men as simps or men who just want to take care of his wife and family, if they're labeling these guys as simps, these guys are toxic. That's toxic. A lot of guys literally will label a man as a simp just because he doesn't dog out women. Like if he don't use women for sex. And some of y'all will call another woman a pick me because she don't use men for money. Like it's like what is the difference? Like there is no difference. It's the same thing. It's just the same thing but a different gender. And I'm really honestly tired of some of these chicks in my comment section talking about, yeah, you're a Pickmeisha. You're a Pickmeisha. And it's like, bitch, are you even in a healthy relationship right now? Do you even have a man? The man that you say you want a man that got six, seven figures. Is that man even looking at you? Is he even looking your way? Why you got this toxic mentality. Like you like everything, every way that you operate is toxic. And you think that you're going to attract the type of man that you want, and you think that that's the gateway to getting the type of man that you want. You're a perpetuant of the most toxic level of femininity. And then but you want to call somebody a pick me for just for having an opposing opinion to somebody like Shira Seven. And I never and when I made the video about Shira Seven, I never even really said anything really against some of the points that she was making. But she has such a hard hold on some of the minds of a lot of her followers that they literally will listen to everything that she says. And most of these women that are listening to her probably don't have never and never will date a man who makes six, seven figures. Never. You will never date a man like that because you don't have the mindset that these type of guys are looking for, which is what I'm trying to say. Like I've had women who do date those type of men who have messaged me about some videos that I've made that said that I'm spot on about, you know, I'm gonna give you guys an example. So I had made a couple videos about like some of the women that appear on Kendra G's show. And there was a woman who had messaged me and she was like, yeah, I'm technically one of those women that men say that they want, like the fit, feminine, young, no kids, blah, 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 blah. And she's married right now. She's like, I'm married and she's with the six-figure guy. And she says she's never had an issue attracting men who are on a higher level. She said she's always ever dated those. She's never bragged about it. She's never boasted. She's never really even talked about it. But what she was saying was that she was like, yeah, these women, they don't, they really don't understand that what they're doing is actually repelling these guys. She's like, I've never had to demand anything from a man. They just do for me because they want to. I don't have to demand nothing. So a lot of you chicks that are out here demanding this and demanding that, you're the exact ones who are never going to get anything. And even if you do, it's not going to last. So a lot of you women are labeling other women as pick me's because you're mad that you're never going to be picked by the man that you want. I'm just saying, you wouldn't even fix your fingers to type any of that shit if you were actually in a healthy relationship right now. If you were actually in a relationship with the type of man that you said that you wanted, you would not have fixed your fingers to type any of that shit. Period. And I know that. Like I know that. Anytime whenever people make comments, I already know what is happening in their head. Like I already know that. I can see it by what you're typing. It's so toxic for you to try to conflate something that's supposed to be derogatory and you're trying to transition it over to something that is supposed to be positive. Like, what's crazy to me is that the people who are the most toxic are using these words to try to bash people who are not toxic. It's like you're because you're toxic, you feel like I gotta push my toxicity onto this other person. And because they're not being toxic, so that means that they're a pick me or they're a simp because they're not toxic. It's just not the same thing, guys. Like if you're toxic, just be toxic, be to yourself, live in your toxic world, but please don't try to bring it over here and try to spoil the people who are not toxic. But anyways, let me know what you guys think, in the comment section below, and let's talk about it. Make sure you subscribe, like the video if you like the video, and we'll talk about it. And I'll see you guys next time.